Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Gelvin Valley, created by Wild Wild Wes. And for Farming Sim 15, I'm realizing here I don't have a set of forks. That must be up by the sheep farm. We have, oh yeah, you know something? This is something I was wanting to showcase at some point. Maybe I'll do that some other time. I spent some time working on, well, that's interesting, red and green. Not sure what's going on with all that. Anyway, I spent some time fixing it so that it worked even on the DLC mods and some of those kinds of things. But anyway, I want to go take care of a little problem we have had in here for some time. Even as we can tell by the weather forecast, we are waiting for hail, and at some point, you know, I've been waiting for the hail to fall before I just plant the fields, because I don't want the hail to take out my crops. So I'm pretty sure I have the hail damage mod in, so that's kind of a mod I created for Farm Sim 17, and I ported it back to, oh, how do I raise that up? Do I got to, there we go. Alright, so we have this. What I'm trying to do is, well, first off, we're going to go over this here little river. I love this touch that at the bottom of Gelvin Valley we can get our feet wet. I have this pesky maple up here, and it's needed some trimming for quite some time. And hey, you know, I wonder if I did this right. Could I drop the branches into here? Now, mainly what I need to do, I think, is get rid of this bottom branch. Maybe I should take the whole tree out, because it's never going to just grow up right. But I believe if I at least got rid of the branch here, it would allow me to drive through here with pretty much anything. So I'm bringing this trailer over here because it actually, well, I wanted something to stand on. As I think I, yeah, let me just come up in here. That might be enough. Alright, let me set the brakes. Yeah, I do have a good old Husqvarna. And, oh, sorry for hitting the microphone. I think I can get up into the tree here. Or, question is, oh yeah, it'll let me. I think that means I have it right. Yeah? Okay, maybe I can, that landed in here. I'm gonna get out and I remember watching, Atomic 67 do this. Yeah, this has some foliage in here too. He made it look a whole lot more normal, but this is such a cool feature Wes built into this here, because I mean, this is exactly what a real life farmer would have to deal with. I remember we dealt with it on the farm. It seemed no matter how many times you cut it, the trees, there always were branches, you know, that would regrow and interfere with the farm equipment. So here we go. that's what we're trying to do here. But I know there was some limitations too in the ability of the game to allow you to cut when you're up high. So, oop, come on, take it down, baby. There we go. There's our second one. And you know what? This is actually pretty handy. And yeah, I think if I just gotta work it carefully here, because the problem or issue we had here in Farm Sim 15, of course, that would get solved in Farm Sim. Ooh, I just barely squeezed under that. That would get solved in Farm Sim 17 is the ability of the player to pick up objects like trees. And here, that's kind of why I'm trying to drop them in the trailer, because there's no way, although maybe with the forks, I just didn't know what I was going to run into here. Maybe it'd be possible, I just don't know. But I figured dropping them in the trailer would be a handy way to try to do this here. Alright, let me see if I can make one more incision. Uh-oh. Did it go in here? I did cut it off, didn't I? I'm not seeing it. Oh, wait, there it is. There it is. Alright, we have all three. Okay. I would say this is mission accomplished, maybe? Now, see, the one little problem we have here is, I wonder if there's a way to, well, let's see here. Is some of this gonna go, yeah, let me just go up here and then take a look back. Probably should just get out of the tractor, get off my lazy behind, and turn on the light here a little bit. Alright, so, oh, you know, it maybe look a little better if we were able to, I got rid of those little stanglies there, and there's a few more up there. I don't know if I'm able to climb up here. Maybe I can. There, got rid of some more. Yeah, see, this is the next tier up, so, you know, I think I'm pleased with that, and I didn't even screw it up too bad here on camera. There's a few more branches, maybe, but that is, Wes, thank you for putting that in there. I don't know if you'll see this, but it is high time I clean that off, so glad to get it taken care of. So now we'll just haul this. I think I have 3 pieces of wood. We'll haul this to the lumber mill down here. Oops, I guess I didn't need to go that far out. Get this going. And with a little luck, we will get down there with all these pieces intact. And you know, there's a mod I haven't ever tried that I believe is a cutting of firewood. So I've never tried it before, but, and I'm not sure how it works. So one of these times I need to give it a try. Anywho. Now, in real life, I don't believe the sawmill here would take any of this, but they will because it's a wood trigger, I think. Now, I don't expect them to give me anything for it. There we go. Yeah, $43. Yeah, saw away, boys. Probably something you would turn into wood chips. And honestly, that's a lot of what would happen, you know, with little wood bits back here in Farm Sim 15, is a lot of them would simply turn into wood chips. bring this up. Well, that was way easier than I was thinking it was going to be. So, that only took about a third of the episode. But one of the things I wanted to visit about in this particular episode has to do with a recent video my friend Russell made. Yeah, see, now it'll be really easy to drive through here. Nice. I bet even the combine can come through now without getting so much as its hair messed. Anyway, he had an episode where he talked about, in so many words, not wanting YouTube to take over his life, which he, oops, I can't even drive here, which he felt, that it kind of was. So, anything, and I totally get where he's coming from. Sometimes you can be doing something and enjoying it, and before you know it, other priorities you have in life are neglected, or you realize how short a time you are. Who knows, what all it could be. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna need this kind of, oops. Drop the tool off. Now let me go drop the trailer off. Drive over there. I'm gonna need the front loader up at the sheep at some point because they are cranking out the wool. But I've had some of the same questions at times, and what I told him recently is, after seeing his video, what it caused me to do is go look at, and he and I mean, we must be some of the strangest YouTubers in the whole YouTube universe, because neither of us cares about subs or any of that kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure I've never heard him talk about, the typical things you'll hear, like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. So I went back and I was looking at, my goals, and this is where, like I say, maybe it's just a little bit different, and he and I, our goals are probably going to be different, of course, but if you're doing something, the mature part of you, anything in life, probably at some point needs to check why you're doing, making sure you're still on track, that it's fulfilling some purpose. Even if that purpose is just enjoyment, while I'm here, let me get some sauce. So, yeah, I was just telling him that hearing his video made me go back and review my goals. And I don't even have them right here in front of me at the moment, but basically I have, as everybody can hear, a terrible voice, so it's to exercise it. So sometimes, it means maybe I do something that's of no interest to anybody, like reading. But it's to exercise my voice. Another purpose is to leave tracks on here for my family. Someday, when I'm dead and gone, maybe they'll be interested in it. I don't know. So that probably is two of them. Oh, and then kind of, I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, another one. Learning to think on my feet. I'm an accountant. I've been called asocial, and it's true. I'm not a very social person, and sometimes, it takes, like tomorrow, for instance, as I record this, it's on a Sunday. Tomorrow I have to give a presentation. And for me, I mean, that's a challenge. That isn't something just easy to do. And there are some people that the words, they can just vomit them out, and for me it's hard to do. So another purpose I had was, learning to think on my feet. Actually, let me see here. Do I need the tractor for anything? Do I think, first off, let me check my sheeps. Is there food? Yes, there is. And there's wool. Let's see, the last time I was here, okay, we got a whole new row started. Another bundle. Hear the radio going. The guys, I believe, are over here shearing. We have sheep in here lined up. So, guys have been bringing them from the pasture. But last time it refused to fill the final row, so I'm almost thinking I need to be ready to haul these. Just nice to have it. That'll be another little bit of income. And I already have some over here, so we should get another good trailer full. Let me drop this off. Just drop the whole. If only it was this easy in real life, hey? Now, I don't know, because I don't have the little mod installed. I thought I did. I have something that would register up here and just tell me how long I had until the next weather system was coming. So, I just don't know when it's going to hit. So, part of me is just looking for a few things to... Oops, don't want to go in there. I want to go up the road. To fill the time until the hail comes, and then I can go get a seeder and start seeding next year's crop. So I know before the nightfall was over, I took care of the fruit down there, so my trees are regrowing the fruit, and so I know I don't have to go down there. Now, maybe... Alright, I gotta go back to the home farm. That's where the mower is. I was just thinking maybe I could mow once more. Looks like all the grass up there has regrown, so I could probably mow it one more time. Although, even as I say this, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the sheep's food trough, and I'm going to see if we have any in the wagon. This will be kind of a discombobbled episode. And then lastly, in my stated goals, one other purpose, of course, is to enjoy Farming Simulator, which is pretty much the only thing I've ever played in the background of the video. So I know there's others who have other games, and I'm interested in seeing that content. Probably for me, it'll only be ever Farming Simulator content. This is really all I know how to do. So, alright, so we got 5,000 here. Get that off there. Alright, back to the farm. And I gotta go find my mower. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. Watch out, sheeps. All 600 of you. Good thing I could drive through him, huh? So, for purposes, I guess, and I have to ask myself, kind of the cadence I've had with my videos, such as they are, is 3 a week for as long as I've been doing them. And each one, of course, is about half an hour, give or take. Half an hour of nonsense that some of you are pretty gracious in watching. But kind of like Russell was saying, he was indicating some choices he's having to make. And I totally get that. There's only so many hours in the day to spend on things like hobbies, or to watch some something that a friend put out, and there's no end to it. Anybody that's ever been on YouTube, I mean, you can almost kind of see the addictive nature of it, especially the ones that I really don't like, even if I do sometimes click on them. And I think this is, one place I've resisted going to is TikTok. And I've just heard it's, made specifically to be addictive, and it's all these short little video clips, and so you don't have the sense of a lot of time being asked or a lot of time elapsing. So you just sit there and mindlessly click, click, click on all these videos, and pretty soon, before you know it, a ton of time has gone by. And I think for YouTube, the air version of it is in the shorts. And it's maddening sometimes, just some dumb little video. And then you think, well, there's just this other one. It has something that looks, for whatever reason, to be interesting. And so you click on it and click on something else. And before you know it, you've blown a whole lot more time than you ever intended. And it's just kind of weird how that dynamic works, with the human psyche. So I don't know if YouTube Shorts factored into Russell's decision, but then when you have friends, and you're trying to encourage them, there's a group of us on the small channels. When I say small channel, I mean I think everybody knows. It's no secret. Hardly anybody will ever see this video, and that's okay. It isn't part of my goals to win some huge audience, kind of like what Russell said in his. My day job is accounting, and yeah, it's never going to be YouTubing. I just don't have the skills to do it right. This is all for kicks and for the stated purposes, that I have on my channel. But it's kind of a bigger question, and maybe the next time I have a video in here can explore it a little bit more as to what an addiction is. And Russell didn't call it that, and I'm not trying to put words in his mouth. I'm just kind of taking the topic that he raised and running with it maybe in a little bit different direction. But to consider some of those forces, and nobody is ever going to want to say, I'm addicted. Although, I mean, there are some programs, to help. For example, is it Alcoholics Anonymous, or some of these what they call 12-step programs, or whatever they are, where I almost think they have to admit they're addicted to alcohol in this case, but pretty much nobody really wants to be known as or defined by some addiction, or nor to have something, whatever that thing is, so rule their life, that it just takes over for everything. Nobody wants that. I don't care who you are. You don't set out in life on something, I don't believe, intending to, oh shoot, no, I just caused some damage. Oopsie. Oh well. Nobody really sets out to become an addict. But, I mean, we've all seen it and stuff that just happens. And so, I don't know, I remember in school, there were discussions about this, but the discussions were more confined maybe to what the educational system thought, were unhealthy addictions. And, boy, there's something that is subject to definition. Wes, I think I need to widen your gate. That just barely makes it in. Okay. Let's see if I can sneak up through here. This one is just as... Okay. Alrighty, this is some early morning. Probably what's going to happen is the hail's going to come and it's going to remove all my grass anyhow. And again, I'm only doing this to have something to do before the hail comes. But in school, it seemed like the focus on addictions was, that it was drugs were harmful, drugs and alcohol, were kind of the biggies. But and rightfully so, those are worthy topics of conversation to young people and old people. Um, those can have terrible effects on people's lives, but I know as I've gotten older, I've learned or perceived, there is far more to addiction than just substances. And, it probably can really be almost anything, um, including positive things, typically considered positive. Um, maybe one example, just real quick. Everybody would probably agree that family is, by and large, a positive thing or something that should be positive, and that love for one's family is an important thing. And maybe it might be hard to conceive how family could ever be a type of addiction, but I think it's possible. All you gotta do is, if you doubt me, is go to like a baseball game or something for kids, little kids, and observe the parents. And it's almost guaranteed that there's going to be some parent, um, either obsessed to the point of, maybe wanting to take on another parent in a fight. I think we've all heard of instances like that, all because of their child and maybe what we would say is a misplaced desire to support the child or whatever. I guess that's all the point I'm trying to make, is even positive things can be something that we misplace focus on. So maybe in another video I'll try to explore that a little bit more. I think that'd be an interesting topic, because we probably all know somebody somewhere, friend, family member, who was addicted to something, and maybe observed how it made a train wreck of their life, or maybe we had the positive experience of seeing them come to terms with it, overcome it. Goodness knows life is also full of positive examples on that too. So I'll maybe save that for the next episode. But I just wanted to acknowledge my friend Russell's episode and the heart that he has behind it, because the hard part of putting something like that out there and telling your friends, hey, I know I would come around to watch all your stuff, and now I just can't. Well, some people will take offense at that or think, well, if you don't come and support me, then you must not be my friend. Well, I don't think that's it at all. It's just some of the harsh realities of life and not being able to be in all places at once for everybody. And I think he was just trying to be real with it, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I say, I reviewed my goals, so I'll probably try to continue achieving the goals, but I gotta say, when when there's others you're trying to support and encourage too, it takes more time, and it can take away from your own goals too, amongst many other things. So I will probably try to keep doing videos like I do, And maybe kind of like Russell, I'm just going to need to make, make, I was going to say make better choices. That sounds just terrible. Um, I don't mean it the way that sounds, but make some tough choices to help free up some time. Because, we're family, man. Russell and I, and we got jobs, we work. So when you aren't a kid anymore, it's life takes more of a piece of you, and than maybe it did when you were younger and just didn't have the load of responsibilities that life seems to hand you when you get older. So we figure it out a day at a time. That is something that is pretty much a great equalizer in life, is the fact we're all given, 24 hours in a day, everyone. And we all have choices as to what we're going to do in those hours. So I think he was just expressing that. And, I'm trying to figure out that same thing. And, I think probably, maybe just in closing, one thing I've done on so many videos when watching them, my habit has been to leave lots of comments. And that is probably something I should stop doing. Maybe what I should do is leave a single comment. I've seen some others who leave just one comment. But it's kind of funny. Sometimes I laugh at comments that are left. And if someone's looking for comments for purposes of the YouTube algorithm, I really don't know how that works. But I think I've heard that the content of the comment really doesn't make any difference at all. But rather the fact that there is a comment or comments makes more of a difference. So if that's true, and if you're trying to help someone grow their channel, I don't know that the comment really needs to be substantive at all. But anyway, that's all besides the point. What makes me laugh sometimes is, a comment will be left, great job, keep up the good work, which are positive. But you do sometimes wonder whether a person has actually watched the video. And it's kind of like the phrase we sometimes hear, tell me you haven't watched the video by not telling me you haven't watched the video. So I don't know. Sometimes I have liked leaving comments asking about something specific in the video, as it shows, hey, I've actually listened to this. But what I don't know is, for all I know, and I try to leave timestamps, that all takes time, and maybe the person who made the content, maybe they don't care. I don't know. Like I say, if they're trying to grow their channel, likes and subscribes, then the content of the comment probably doesn't mean anything or matter, and for all I know, it may take them time to address a more specific question. So it probably all depends on the person as to whether that is seen as a good thing or not. So who knows? But I do know it takes time, so probably, as Russell pares back some of the things he's watching, maybe something I'll pare back a bit is leaving too many comments. So I don't know. That's kind of just something I'm rolling around in my cranium as I consider Russell's thoughts even from my own life. So anywho, I think I am well over 30 minutes, so hopefully everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for watching if you did, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.